I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We're not actually doing that. Can you imagine? Oh my god. No, absolutely not. uh, anyway, how y'all doing? I'm Paps, Rise theme VTuber and an artist, and today we are going to be working on a art fight attack. A sorry, I've had that the idea for the bit stuck in my head all day, and I simply could not resist the temptation. Anyway, today with the character that we're going to be attacking, the person we'll be attacking specifically is Moka. Now, Moka is another VTuber. They are really cool. They made a game that I played on. Well, they were part of the team that made a game that I played on stream a little while back called Bury the Hatchet, which is a really good game, free to play. You should check it out if you have a chance. And I think the dev team that they're working on right now, Seta City, is still working on some other stuff as well. Also, Moka also streams themselves. They do stream as well. So if you have the chance, go check out Moka. But yeah. I've been meaning to have an art fight attack on Moka ever since I found out that they were on art fight. I haven't had that chance yet. I didn't have that chance last year specifically because I kind of bowed out early for many reasons. But I have a lot of different things that I want to try out for this one. I have a few things that I want to try out. So, y'all might remember from the... Hang on. I need a few more things here. I think this one would be the best one. Yeah, actually, this one I think has a really good vibe to it. Okay, so Moka's Sona has a... Hang on. Okay, let me get my layers in order here. So Moka's Sona is, and I'm reading the description that they made on the Artfight profile right now, a person who has deluded themselves into thinking they are Cupid fallen from heaven, but really they just like coffee too much. So I'm hoping to work with that a little bit. I'm hoping to have some elements of that with this one. So my idea was to have a... Which layer was this? Oh, this is that other brass coffee machine. All right, yeah, we don't need that. We don't need that. Yeah, my idea was to have like a coffee machine behind them with kind of almost like angelic motifs. You know how there are some depictions of angels, which are just like big kinds of wheels with a burning eye in the middle and whatnot, or the wheels have eyes. It's one of those things. So yeah, my idea was to have this kind of in the background behind them. Model Gigante, P6, with 6 groups. 50 liters. Okay, that's kind of impressive, actually. Does that mean that this thing could dispense 50 liters of espresso? Well, hang on, I have the file here still from Wikimedia. This is like the title of this file is Espresso Machine Oldest. .jpg. This is the oldest espresso machine known to man. Uploaded a work by unknown from https www.thecommonscafe, the fascinating history of the espresso coffee machine and the people who made it possible with Upload Wizard. File usage on Commons. There are no pages that use this file. Used on fa.wikipedia.org. Huh. Okay. And wait, what's like the... You are free to share and remix upon under the following attributions. You must give appropriate credit, provide a link to the license, and indicate if changes were made. You may do so in any reasonable manner, but not in a way that suggests the licensor endorses you or your use. That's a little difficult. It says that we can share and remix, so drawing it should actually be fine, I think. In any case, we'll be using it as inspiration, but we'll probably be doing a little bit something screwy with it here and there. Okay, let's resize a couple things and work on the basic layout of this first. Okay, so I fucking Ryamu Yumemi with the eyes censored out is crazy work. All right, so let's use. Okay. Yesterday we had the character facing this direction, so let's have the character facing this direction today. Okay. Should I just swap it around like this? I think that should work. Dodging, dodging, dodging. Okay. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to move the characters so that they look like they might be pouring a coffee cup off screen. And they'll be holding the coffee jug. Not sure if that the coffee pot. I think that's the normal word for it. They'll be holding the coffee pot with this one. We could probably get rid of the huge attributions required picture here real quick. Okay. That attribution stuff always makes me a little bit uneasy. That's why I always try to check to see if something is like copyright free before I deploy it in one of my bits. I don't know. I feel like I've probably fallen under some kind of fair use clause of some type because of the fact that I'm not directly using the picture. I'm just using it as a reference to draw my own thing. I feel like that might stand up in a court of law. Granted, I don't think it'll escalate to that point. That's the beneficial thing about being small time. I think you get into a lot less trouble than somebody who's like big time. You know, everybody wants to pick a fight with you when you're on a bigger scale. Probably because being big means you're just an easier target, right? I mean, like who respects a guy that beefs with an account that has like less than 1,000 followers? Actually, I realized the other day that I have 200 followers on Twitter, which is weird. I didn't think that would happen. Also, I think I am going to have to flip this whole thing around because I realized just now that if I want to wait, if I want this to make sense, I actually need to make the skull face, the hand that's bringing out the other coffee cup on the same way the head is facing, because otherwise it wouldn't make sense. Because why would you pour something? Good luck with your attack. Thank you, Adept. Yeah, no, we need to make them face this way because otherwise it wouldn't make sense. Because why would you pour a cup of coffee in a way you're not facing? That's like maybe that's like a party trick, though. I don't know. I know that some bartenders have like competitions where they see who can do like the raddest tricks while pouring a bottle of Glinguli Blue into a shot glass or something, you know. But I wonder if coffee servers have that. When you're so good at pouring, you don't even need to look at it. That's right. I feel like you can probably reach that point if you've poured over one. You know, I fear not the man who has poured a cup 1,000 times. I fear the man who has poured 10,000 cups once. That's totally wrong. It's completely the opposite thing. Mastery of a single drink. That's right. The beverage lord. The one person who understands a drink on a fundamental level. Like in the courtly times, they would have been deployed as the king's personal coffee server. That would be pretty awesome. I'm pretty sure if you could like if you could time travel to a point in time when like kings could drink coffee on the regular, if you mess with the time stream to that extent, I feel like you would eventually chance upon a situation where you could basically become like the beverage pourer of the court. I'm almost certain that that was a position you could hold at one point. I'm not convinced it isn't. Like more trusted than the poison taster. You would be like in charge of just pouring a single beverage for their majesty. Okay, this one can go like this. I feel like that's just a servant, but maybe if you're like really good. Yeah, that's true actually. I don't think you need a guy to be specialized in only doing like one specific thing for you unless you're really really specific about the way that thing is done. Like I don't know, maybe you could, as long as we're already doing time travel shenanigans, you might as well fudge the number so that you could get a king who is like super into beverage pouring, and that's kind of your in. I don't know. It just feels like this is a lot of steps to do something that you could. Yeah, the Coffee King. That's right. I'm surprised there isn't a chain store called like the Coffee King. We have the Sofa King, we have the Mattress King. Why is royalty limited? Like, does no wait? There's the Burger King. I was gonna say is like the concept of the monarchy limited to only furnishings, but no, the burgers have a king. The burgers have a king. Why no Coffee King? Is the beverage exempt somehow? Does the common beverage lack the nobility required of rulership of kingship? It's so hard to tell. I think I just never really understood food. You mean to tell me that all the other chain stores in the world have somehow discovered democracy? Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, coffee presidency, coffee republic. Yeah, still super fucked up that they call the clothing store Banana Republic. Like if it was like a smoothie place, I would get the name. Like at least then you'd be like, no, because we use bananas in our smoothies. It's cool. It's cool. But no, you need like a clothing store. That why did you do that? That feels unnecessary. Fun fact: I learned what the term Banana Republic meant because I was playing Balloons Tower Defense, and one of the units is this banana farm that can get you more money each round. Yeah, a smoothie place would make more sense. But yeah, I learned there's like a unit that lets you get more money each round, and I invested heavily into that. And apparently, the final upgrade for that is called the Banana Republic. And in retrospect, that's also kind of fucked. I wonder if that's still a thing in like the most current iteration. I think they've become like almost like a gotcha game now, right? Is that how Bloons Tower Defense is? It has departed from like the methods, the pure and virtuous methods of the Flash game, and evolved into the degeneracy of the mobile gacha market. The mobile gacha market is degenerate. I will say this much, but at least it's not as degenerate as the console gacha market. If your game is not on a mobile and you still have a gacha involved in your if you have still have gacha in your dealings, you are twisted. There's like weird bits of knowledge that I've learned entirely from like video games or fiction books. Yeah. Although nothing comes to mind right now. But yeah, I get what you mean though. Sometimes you learn what some words mean just because you see them randomly flung about or see an allusion to them in one way or another. I don't know. This might be controversial, but I think it's a good thing that they included a reference to fascist regimes and colonial powers in a balloon tower defense game. That's much more. It's almost like some kind of commentary at that point. It's like I don't think you should have named your unit that, but at the same time, I feel like if you hadn't named it that, I wouldn't have learned this. So I don't understand what the trade off might be here. Hang on, I forgot how to hold a mug. How do I hold a mug? Do I have like something mug like in my vicinity? I have a bottle of water, but that's not really mug like. Yeah, because this coffee mug looks a little too massive. This is like one of those coffee mugs that has like "Don't talk to me until I've had my coffee" printed on it. It's a little bit aggressive. Yeah, big thirst mug. There's probably some kind of 3D model I could use to do this, but I don't know. I've kind of been, I've kind of been a fan of using a non 3D model approach to make like the raw sketch these days. I don't know. I think it's definitely one of those things where it's like if it would take more time to set up the model, I don't want to waste time on doing that. But if it would take less time to set up the model, I want to do that. I don't know. This doesn't seem like that complicated of a pose. I think I can. I think I can handle this. That being said, I should probably figure out the size of the head to figure out the size of the hand. Look you up on TV tropes thinking it was Twitch. Pab's TV tropes. If I ever get a TV tropes page, that's how I know I'll have made it. I actually have read a lot of TV tropes in my time. I remember I found out about TV tropes for some reason. I don't remember how I found out about it. I found out about it in like middle school, right? Or actually, no, it was like fifth grade. I found out about TV tropes in the fifth grade because I was like doing research for something and I accidentally just chanced upon it. And so I was like reading the entries because I how like being on Tumblr for too long gives you like a Tumblr accent where you'll just say things in a very odd way that's just funny to people. TV tropes is kind of the same way. It has like like surprisingly funny writing in a lot of the articles. And so I would just be sitting there cracking up reading a TV tropes article in the middle of class. And like I would be worried about the teacher finding out, but like even if they did find out, how could I succinctly describe what was on the page? It looked like a Wikipedia article with a lot of like different hyperlinks and stuff. I don't unless like they knew what it was. I don't think they would have understood what it was without like me taking the time to explain it. And I probably would have just started crying if they'd have put me on the spot. So I don't know. It was quite an odd situation to be honest. Also, hey Preston, how you doing? TV Trope is a fun time waster. Yeah. And over here we'll have the two other fingers like that. Doing well. Just got back from work. Nice. Hope you had a good shift. And if not, I hope the customers who are mean to you kill themselves. I don't mean that. I don't mean that. That might have been a bit extreme. I'm sorry. It was better than yesterday. Well, that's good. If the situation's improving, then that means that you're on the way up. I don't know. May the jovial spirit of patriotism tame their raging spirits a little bit today. Oh, hey, Leo, how's it going? God, these little skinny legs are fucking me up so bad. I'm not used to. It's too dang hot. Oof. There we go. That's better. What you cooking today? This character named Moka. They are the Sona of another streamer who is also called Moka. I am going to try and make like a coffee machine angel behind them. Yeah, it's Moka from the Sips. Yeah, no, Inception. Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna try to like make this into like a kind of angel looking coffee machine. Fuck it. The espresso knobs are now eyes. Good luck dealing with that asshole. I don't know. On the one hand, I feel like we've lost a lot of opportunities by not even like trying it. But on the other hand, I feel like it's a good thing that we didn't eventually go the bio-organic route, or like not bio-organic, like biotechnological route with a lot of like modern technology. Like, yeah, AI is bad and it's killing our planets, but at least it's not like powered by some dude in a tube, you know? I feel like that's got to be a pretty big plus. Okay. And over here that you know of. That's true. I don't know. Copilot seems like it would be pretty dude on tube based. I feel like I don't know. Sometimes you just like see a new AI and you're like, oh god, that one's stuff. I talked to the tech mogul. I asked if their AI is tube based or silicon based. They don't understand. I pull out a diagram clearly explaining what's tube based and what's silicon based. They laugh. It's a good AI, sir. Look inside. It's still killing the planet. Fuck AI. All my homies hate AI. You know how bad this AI shit has gotten? I have like a business newsletter that I'm subscribed to because they occasionally have like interesting stuff that I talk about on stream. And even they're sick of talking about AI. Punching into my shift at the green liquid tube factory so that the protagonist can walk by us with abject horror on their faces. Yeah. You get written up one day because like your supervisor sees you like actually sleeping instead of like being in that locked in restful state that the protagonists are supposed to find you in. You know, a lot of people talk shit about the tube gig economy, right? But I think it's not such a bad deal. You don't need bathroom breaks because you're always kind of like, you kind of just go in the tube. Although unfortunately, that does tend to attract a lot of perverts to the career. But it's not the worst. And you're definitely like making a lot of money for like what's really a seasonal gig because unless there's a protagonist out and about, you don't really need people in tubes. That they need like two or three dudes in tubes at most. during like the off season, but like when there's like a spunky youth who is able to gather a diverse range of scrappy allies to their cause, that's when they actually need additional assistance, and when they'll put out like help wanted signs. It's kind of like Christmas, but for the destruction of mega corporations. But yeah, no, it's definitely good money for a seasonal gig, or so I've been told. Okay, then over here. Then this one over here also needs a nozzle. I should probably be using a symmetry tool once I actually get the brass stacks on this one. Something that just occurred to me. Yeah. I hear that if you do well enough at the green liquid tube seasonal job, they actually promote you to a full-time guy. But I've also been told that you really should not take that opportunity. Like you handing out suspended in a tube for 3 to 4 days in December, and you're like, yeah, it's whatever. I could do this on a regular basis. But it kind of fucks with you if you stay in there for too long. And it's not just because of like the weird chemicals that they pump to keep you breathing during the liquid suspension. Like it's almost like solitary confinement in some ways. Punching into my ship that the get turned into a robot factory so that the protagonist can watch in horror as they see how the enemies they've been fighting this whole time are made. That one's a little bit of a riskier job because 9 times out of 10 the protagonist will be like, oh my god, I can't believe I've been doing this, but like there's this like one and I've heard this only anecdotally, right? This is something that's been told to me by a friend of a friend of a friend. There was this one dude who like saw that and like got like kind of really red in the cheeks and was like, can I have a turn? And that kind of like made the whole shift feel a little bit weird. Like it was just the one guy, and I've never heard of stories of it ever happening again since then. But like, right in Metal Gear Rising. I'm not gonna lie. The moment you brought up the get turned into a robot factory, my brain immediately went to the idea of how can I relate this to Signalis. Which is on sale right now as part of the Steam Summer Sale, 30% off. You should really play it. It'll change your brain chemistry a little bit. Okay. I don't think we need to make anything particularly more complicated in this bottom area. Since that's going to be mostly covered up by Moka's dome. Love how Signalis just universally seems to rewire people's brains. It's a really good narrative is the thing. Like the thing is that this kind of idea of making a promise and trying to stick to it despite everything, that's a very powerful. That's a very powerful like thing to refer back to. It's like a very compelling motive. I don't know. That's what's kind of stuck with me more than anything. Although I do feel like the effects are more drastic on some people than in others. Yeah, Ariane all making us remember her promise. Yeah. It's kind of like an evil version of that. That's what Himmel the hero would have done. if you want to think about it that way. Like the positive version is like this is what hero the Himmel the hero. 2 strikes on that one. This is what Himmel the hero would have done, and the evil version is like, I must keep my promise. I remember my promise. Elser would remember her promise. Hmm. I don't know how to make nice filigree. Himmel the hero loved remembering promises. Now, fundamentally, I am against the idea of turning any. I do feel like the reason that Signalis' story is this powerful is because it has like this like LGBT relationship in it. However, it would be really fascinating to me to see like the Signalis AU where it's like Freyrin is Elster and Himmel is Ariane. Okay, that's gonna go on like this, and then like this, and like this. Actually, that's a good idea. I could have like these little sparkles thingies. That's actually really cool to think about. Let's see. How the hell does this dial work? Incredibly long-lived being going through the eldritch hell for the sake of a mere mortal. Yep. That's a good stuff right there. What's wrong? Did somebody get a little bit too? Did somebody learn to appreciate the ephemeral beauty of creatures who have lower lifespans than they have, and thus become heartbroken when the one thing that they valued the most finally ended? Ah, did that happen to you? That's really mean. That's really mean. Yeah, I shouldn't have said that. Me bullying the long-lived elf that lives next door to me. Okay, then over here we're gonna do this. This bitch learned compassion. Point and laugh at her. Christ. Yeah, when you put it like that, it does really sound bad. Putting spikes on this thing, putting spikes on this thing, putting spikes on this thing. Another eye for the coffee machine. This happened to Worry, I think. We hate humans and we hate the humans up in here. Take your sensitive ass back to the shape of water. God. Okay, and then I think the way this works is that it has different nozzles. The extending arms on this thing is crazy work, personally, to me. This thing is definitely a contraption. Is the thing. Sometimes some guy will come up to you and be like, "Check out my contraption," and it'll be at best a gizmo, but this thing is like a proper contraption. Oh yeah, speaking of contraptions, y'all see the trailer for the Guilty Gear anime? Very excited for all that's happening in there. I don't know. I remember. I don't know. I feel like this is either going to be like one of the most beautiful anime projects ever happen, or it's going to be like the Kagero Days anime, where like it needed until like the Blu-ray release to be kind of watchable because it just looks so awful. Like, listen, animation is hard work, right? Animation and the animating industry is like difficult. It is tedious. They expect impossible things from you. It's tough work. But at the same time, like if you had seen some of like the pre-Blu-ray Kagero Days stuff, you would be like, "Oh, no, no, they were like these guys. These guys just did not have time." Wait, what the fuck? Oh, hold on, hang on. Days Blu-ray comparison. I hope it brings a whole new audience of people for me to pile bunker. God. All right. Here's like what I'm talking about for reference. I'm gonna bring up the hang on. Hold up. I'm gonna bring up the browser source just so y'all can see this. I'm putting these motherfuckers on blast. The top is like what was like aired on TV, and the bottom is like what was released on the Blu-ray disc. Like you can see, right, that it's not of, shall we say, optimal quality. But yeah, that's kind of like what I'm talking about. But yeah, I do hope it brings in more new players. Also, Kendrick Lamar released a music video for "Not Like Us" 11 minutes ago. This always happens to me in the middle of stream. I'll open up YouTube to put something on blast, and like Kendrick will have dropped. This the last time this happened. I found out that "Not Like Us" existed. I'm like, oh wow, another Kendrick Lamar song. Wait a minute, this is like a different one from yeah. We hate this guy, the musical. Yeah, no, yeah, Kendrick, or like Drake. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. No, God. Also, I'm gonna simplify this to just have two nozzles because I want to have an easy life. All right, and then we can just use the symmetry tool for the other side. Okay. Okay. Now let's align these a little bit. So I think maybe I don't know. Do we make the coffee machine smaller? I think that might actually be the right choice because that way we can actually extend this wing a little bit. I aspire to learn this man's moves. There we go. The hate Kwon Do. Yeah. Yeah, the Ba Huit Gua. Wait, Ba Gua Zhang. The Ba Hate Zhang. Anyway, I think we're actually ready to start working on the line art if I add a few more details to Moka's clothing. Okay. I've had enough of drawing jackets for a while actually. I know that I said a long time ago that I'm very much a proponent of the cool jacket theory of character design, but I feel like I've been drawing way too many jackets recently. I'm going on jacket strike. It is physically impossible to hate someone to death, but if anybody could, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I kind of got over the whole thing after after Not Like Us kind of just decimated whatever kind of credibility Drake had, and then Drake decimated his own credibility even further by releasing the weakest possible follow up he could make. So after all that, I was like, yeah, nah, time to move on. Oh, the heart is on top of the envelope, right? That actually makes more sense. Okay, yeah, there's also a bunch of other little hearts around here. Okay, and there's going to be a little ribbon over. That's a ribbon, right? Yeah, that's a ribbon. Yeah, no, same. I still go back to listen to it though because it ironically still stand on their own feet as songs. Oh yeah, no, I mean like I've had Euphoria queued up a few dozen times on my own playlist. It's just like they're just really good songs. Oh, it's two little ribbons. Ah, the multiplicitous ribbon. Okay, then that's gonna go back behind here. Then over here. Is that another heart on in the middle of the boob window? That's crazy work. Okay, then that's gonna go over here. I fear that I've been overusing the phrase "crazy work." Sometimes the work is not in fact that crazy. In fact, the work is quite coherent. Oh, the ribbons have little hearts in them as well. Interesting. Okay, then that's gonna go over here. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we've just had so much. There's been a lot of stuff happening recently. I don't know. I don't know. It just feels like more stuff has been happening faster this year. So much so that like usually, the feeling that I got last year around this time was like, oh my god, we're in July already, and this time it's more like, oh, it's July. It's like it's not surprised that we're in July so much as it is like more shit has happened this year. Like I feel like the like it's almost like inflation of our perception of time. Like last year has been happening so quickly that this year it's kind of like on the same pace, and we're just like, oh no, okay, so this is what we're doing now. We've gotten used to it. I don't know. At least that's the way it's been for me. July is quite the odd month. Days are not 24 hours anymore, I swear. Yeah. But yeah, no. July is quite the odd month because of the fact that it goes directly after June, right? Because I feel like up until June you can still delude yourself that it's like fairly early in the year, right? Like you could be like, nah, 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 it's only June, man. Come on, we've still got I've still got time to like work out some other shit this year. But like now that it's July, it's like the equinox, the solstice has passed. Like the days will get shorter, my friend. We no longer have plenty of time. Okay, the apron doesn't have any frills. Good to know. But that's a good way to put it. Days are not 24 hours anymore. Yeah. This year I was hoping to actually accomplish a lot more. I don't know. I feel like I've accomplished a lot already, but I definitely felt like the pressure to do more because of the fact that last year I was swamped up. The first half of the year, especially, was really swamped up with a lot of stuff that was just like to keep me in the country to begin with. Thankfully, that was all resolved peacefully. But going into this year, I was like, all right. Last year was like a mulligan. Where we had some shit. I said I was going to learn to draw on January 10th. I still haven't. I mean, you did make some progress though. It'd be good to get back into it though. I feel like you kind of enjoyed the process of that. Uh, I mean, this is an art channel. And you are just like relating an experience. It's not too sentimental. Don't worry about it. You're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. Yeah, no. The neat thing about drawing is that you can basically pick it up whenever. The cool thing about it's not like, for example, clay, right? Where it's like if you don't use it for too long, it'll dry out and it will become unusable. Speaking of which, I actually do have some leftover clay from that Pabs Bowl sculpting stream, so I should probably do something with that at some point. I don't know. What should I make with that though? I don't have any ideas for. Maybe I should make another Pabs Bowl, a duplicate. The Pabs Bowl that I have has actually finished drawing more or less. So I should probably start painting it at some point. I feel like the more progress that I make on Pabsville 1.0, the easier it will be for me to make anything else with clay. I want to imagine that to make these cool little hard cuffs, they didn't actually get any cloth or anything. They just have these are just like really large coffee cups, and they just punch their hands through the hole to make the cuff. Idea of mini paps sitting on my desk makes me smile. That's actually not a bad idea. I could try and make a tiny little clay pabs. It'd be a good idea to make something that's actually sculpted rather than just what I did with the bowl, which was kind of put it on top of a styrofoam bowl and just pound it out. Still kind of a miracle that it worked. Also, I feel like this head needs to be a little bit bigger. It's a mini me, Preston. I want you to have it. I still need to watch season one of Smiling Friends. I have not seen that show. I've only seen bits and pieces of that show online, and I feel like I would really enjoy it if I gave it a solid shot. Oh, it's a riot. Nice. And take a quick sip of water. No, it's really cool as well because they seem to include a lot of different animation styles within the episodes. It feels like it's very much a celebration of different art styles in a lot of ways. Mega fluffy hair. It's like adult Amazing World of Gumball in that department. I never actually ended up watching Amazing World of Gumball. I've heard some. I've seen some of the antics of the actor who voices Gumball, but I haven't actually seen the show itself. I'm just remembering that clip of where like the voice actor for Gumball fucking went ape mode and murdered James Charles. In Minecraft. That's not even a bit. In Minecraft, he murdered the James Charles in Minecraft. Like I know we say in Minecraft as to like deflect of an act's illegal presence, but like that actually happened in Minecraft. Love how you knew exactly what clip you were talking about when you said antics. Yeah, there's another one, but I'm not allowed to say some of the stuff that he said in that one. Moving on. Yeah, no. I Yeah, no. You know the one. You know the one. I never really noticed Mocha's little ahoge. Whenever I say the word ahoge, I need to have like one of those like Sonic the Hedgehog type. You know those like quick time event combo pop ups on the screen to make sure that I have the pronunciation right. If you know, you know. If you know, you know. Wait, hold on. The mouth would be around here. There we go. I don't know how to make it look like they are staring directly at the camera. Like I want this to have like a little bit of a creepy vibe to it. Ding ding beep beep beep. Woohoo! A hoagie. It's precisely like this. Okay. I like how, because of the way that I grafted an additional segment to the thumb here, it kind of looks like they're wearing fingerless gloves. Although, then. There we go. We added some to the thumb and then we removed some from the forefingers. This is the way. Okay, then over here. We can probably remove the legs here. They're just kind of in the way. All right, let's do a quick test. Let's flip the canvas. I see. I see. Yeah, something about this. Maybe I need to move the. Hang on. Is that about right? Where's their reference? That seems about right. Let me. I feel like I need to trim down the apron here. I feel like I went a little bit too ham with it. Now I kind of wish I hadn't erased those legs. Me when I'm a snake and I have evolved past the need for my other limbs. But I realize that now I just have to wriggle around on the ground all day. I was literally about to say that. Gotta be faster on the draw, buddy. You gotta be faster on the draw than that. Same brain, though. Same brain. High five for having the same joke. I can't talk faster than you talk. That's true. I have an unfair advantage. I have like a latency input advantage here. High five. Yeah, that's right. That would be that would be kind of a hilarious concept for a gaming tournament. One dude gets like rollback speed latency, but everybody else has like really crappy input latency. So this one guy is just at a constant advantage, and you just kind of have to wear him down by numbers. Something about the head feels huge. Quit looking at me with them big old eyes. Actually, I do think it's the eyes that are throwing me off. I joked just now, but I do think it's actually the eyes that are throwing me off. Something about them doesn't feel right in the way that I've drawn them. Wait, no, hang on, what? Oh, okay, yeah, no, I'm in the right for this one. Victory screen appears for the guy after taking down all his opponents, only for him to be taken out by the anti-air, the first guy he took out and put it at the round start. Yeah. like some dude throws a projectile at the beginning of round one, and it just takes that long for it to travel, and he's like, "What did it do? What does it do?" Wait, no. The whole point of what did it do is that it was just like a distraction, and he actually got killed by I think a flash kick or something. There's a bit of response these days, right? That somebody puts up a Wikipedia article that's like, the purpose of a system is what it does, or something. And I feel like that's a good. I feel like that's a good way of approaching the what did it do question in terms of like a philosophical lean to it. What did it do? It did what it does. Yeah, I'm having a hard time not making this smile look like a Muppet mouth. I should open the jaw up a little bit so it's like a toothy smile. Okay. Maybe like I need a head or something to help guide me here. Okay. Yeah, no, I need like a model head. Anyone will do. This person here, for example. Kind of in that very sassy pose. Yeah, that should do. Man, I hope this line art doesn't bite me in the ass when I'm trying to make the line art. Or I hope this sketch doesn't bite me in the ass when I try to make the line art. Okay, then over here. You say that as if you know it will. I've got a little bit of a feeling, but I don't know. Maybe it'll surprise me in a pleasant way. Let's get in slightly chubby cheeks. The Moka hair vents. I do like myself some good hair vents. Those are some fine hair vents. Yeah. The reason they haven't been able to give anime girl hair vents to a lot more characters these days, right? Regardless of gender, you know, some anime boys had anime girl hair vents. Like it wasn't a gender exclusive thing, but it was usually anime girl based. But the reason I think more people haven't been getting anime hair vents is because of the fact that nowadays the power scaling the game has changed, right? Back in the day, if you could fly, you were like hot shit. right? That was like a unique talent. Like a whole guy's deal could be just he flies now, right? That was like a whole guy. That could be like a whole person's deal. However, nowadays everybody can fly. It's like a whole thing, you know. Like being able to fly is just like a thing everybody can do now. The skill ceiling has raised, and unfortunately, they found out that if you do have those hair vents in your design, you are more likely to like accidentally shred some. They fly now. Goku when he saw Tien Shinhan. No, that's fine. That's fine. I was actually referencing that as well. We're on the same wavelength here. I forgot that scene actually happened. I don't think I remember seeing that one movie in theater. So I don't remember the part where he yells out they fly now. I'm pretty sure it's a Star Wars flick, right? Yeah. All right. Nice. My instincts are correct. Anyway, as I was saying, the reason more characters don't have that design these days is because of the fact that they found out that characters who do have those tend to like shred a lot of birds on their way up in a lot of cases. So that was kind of just decimating the local bird populations. They had to cut down on that character design. People can't be silly anymore. They got to do something silly and be like, "Oh wow, ain't this silly?" I don't know. I don't know though. Like sometimes it's important to, you know how like when a dog will not be sure if like the other dog is like playing or not, so it'll like show its belly to the other dog or like be like apologetic to the other dog if it accidentally hurts the other dog while it's playing. Sometimes it's a good thing to be like, oh, wasn't that a little bit silly? Just to make sure that everybody's on the same wavelength. Because they're like, yeah, that was silly. I liked it. You know, then you could be like, oh boy, let's get silly. At least that's how it should go for social interactions. For stuff that goes on in movies, I feel like we can be. It's fine to present your work without apology or context. In fact, it's even healthy for some people to be able to like just say what they want to say without needing to add like five different paragraphs of explanation behind it. Some of the greatest minds of our generation have just said some insane shit and just not bothered to explain what they meant by it, and wandered off, and we hail them as heroes. Hang on, something about this is throwing me off. I kind of want to try something real quick, and I hope this works. I know that it's more like when superhero movies do something really cool and they have to be like, "Oh, that's so corny." Hmm. Yeah, I think I understand what you mean. I don't know. Sometimes it's fine to be like, "Oh, boy, that was definitely kind of silly," but other times it feels less so that they're like kind of being like, "All right, thank you for indulging us," and more so like their hands like you know how when a child is finding out that stoves are hot for the first time and like they put their hand near the stove but they like feel the heat and they recoil the hand backwards really fast and they're like oh it's a little bit like that almost. It feels like they come very close to this idea of sincerity, but then they're like afraid of that sincerity. I don't know, it's a little bit sad to see. I think I'm not explaining it properly. Yeah, maybe the issue is on this is that I'm not understanding it as well. The vibes are discordant. Oh. Hang on, now I think I understand. Wait, actually, which side do they have the... Oh, is the hair supposed to be like wings? I see. I was wondering what the little angel here was for. I actually can't wait to make these eyes now. I feel like because of the way that I use vector lines, I'm still a little bit unfamiliar with making these super thick anime eyelashes. But I think I'm getting there. I'm satisfied with the results at least. Okay, then similar over here. That's a little bit too angular. I don't want to accidentally give them the DreamWorks face. Accidentally gave a character the DreamWorks face incident. 4 dead, 500 injured. The eyebrow raise with a smile face, yeah. The problem with the DreamWorks face is that it is just like such a universal expression. Like it's just a very good expression, but because it's been used so much, now nobody else can use it. I feel like we've provided sort of a corporate victory with the fact that we've relinquished that to like DreamWorks. What other shorthand exists for communicating that a character is mischievous yet bold at the same time? Hmm. I think the biggest thing I want to do is get really good at drawing eyes. A lot of my OCs have something concealing their faces, so a lot of expressions and feelings are going to have to be expressed through eyes or eyes only. Yeah. Being able to draw very expressive eyes and being able to make expressions without having access to the full face is a really valuable skill. And it sounds like it'd be perfectly suited for what you're going for. I remember that there was this one. There was like a Super Sentai season where they released a grab book for one of the heroines. But the problem is like the heroine in question was like a fully robot girl. So what they ended up having to do was that they had to communicate what her expressions were with her hands a lot. Like they really focused on the way she held her hands and everything. And it worked really well. Of course, just because you understand it, I understand what they were going for, but I still haven't been able to fully replicate it myself. I still have some issues with characters who don't have like fully Body language does go a very long way. That's true. Okay, then over here. I think a good way to resolve that is by having the eyebrows visible to an extent too. Yeah. Or having some kind of eyebrow stand-ins if that's not available. You know, like I have my little band on the top of my head that I can use as eyebrows. That works well enough. Or go the Pyro TF2 route and make the mask move like their eyes too. That's also a viable strategy. My personal headcanon for why the Pyro can do all that with the mask is because their face is just like that. That's not a gas mask. That's just their face. Now, I don't know what kind of evolutionary advantage there would be to having your face automatically morph into a gas mask somewhere along the way, but I imagine there must be one or two advantages. Characters that have bandanas or hat brims acting as eyebrows are great. Yeah. Okay, then make this like so. Come on, select all of it. There we go. Okay. And this is going to come in like this. There we go. That feels like it works. I think they had the hearts underneath this eye, yeah. Okay. Then over here. I feel like if I should soften up this side of the jawline as well, make it just a tiny bit rounder. But maybe that's not the right solution. Maybe I actually need to twist the chin a little bit like this. Yeah, that feels right. I feel like you should be able to see at least a little bit of the other side of the hair from here. Gonna be lurking now. Have fun. Thank you. Enjoy your evening as well. Thank you for the lurk. Okay, this is gonna come in like this, I think. There we go. Maybe I can even I don't know. Hang on. Let me flip the panel here a little bit. Maybe if I switch it up like this, I think it'll feel better. Oh, I was missing the line for the nose. I think that's what was messing me up. Yeah, I think I can also see what was messing me up about this. The fact that the hair had such a the hair vent had such a powerful top part. I feel like if we made it a little bit less dramatic, I feel like that's gonna be closer to what it's supposed to look like. Please tell me that was on the right layer. I think. Oh no, wait, that has to have been on the right layer. Yeah, that was definitely on the right layer. All right, thank God. Something about this still feels off. Yeah, I think part of the fact was that I wasn't cutting off this part here. Maybe if I also added one a little bit further up here and extended it here. Then we brought this in a little bit further. I feel like that would be, yeah, that definitely gives the head a more balanced feel. There we go. I think that's going to be what we need. Yeah, I think I was leaving too much cheek real estate over here. Looked odd. There's a few stray particles here and there. Let's take care of those before we move on. There we go. Yeah, now it's all coming together. All right, what else do we need to do here? Basically everything else. I was like, what else do we need to do? Bro, literally the entire drawing. Oh well, one brick at a time. Okay, and then the ribbons and the apron here. Were there special instructions for the apron at all, or I think no, there weren't. Okay. Something that I've realized recently, when I work off stream, right, I usually have some kind of YouTube video playing, usually a music video or something. I've been using the queuing function a lot recently, but recently I've been like, wait, no, I have to look at the website each time whenever I have to queue something new up. I should try to lock in and focus instead. Let's play some normal music. So I play some normal music, but I still get distracted somehow. And so what I'm thinking that I need to do is I might actually just need to put in the BGM playlist that I have for stream. I feel like that might actually be the best way for me to lock in. Since in this case, I'm only focused on two things: yapping and drawing. I don't know. Maybe I need yapping as a sort of stimulus. Maybe yapping's kind of like my fidget cube. I think this is how podcasts get started. Now instead of like live streaming it, I'll just be releasing a new episode on Patreon every other week, where it's just me talking about random shit while I'm drawing. I don't think I could get away with that, but it would be really funny if I could. Okay. There we go. Oh, yeah. Recently, the thing with me, right? I have one very specific breakfast that I eat almost 90% of the time, and that's like a sort of cheese melt that I make on my George Foreman griddle. That is my breakfast on a good, I want to say like 80% of days is just going to be my griddle sandwich. And it's a good sandwich, don't get it twisted. I enjoy my meal. But the thing is, whenever I don't have that sandwich, I end up eating whatever breakfast option I substituted with way too quickly. I like run out very easily. I for a while I tried to have like yogurt with granola for breakfast, and it was delicious. But I ended up eating through all of my yogurt way too quickly. I think the main advantage of the sandwich is that it uses like a very slow perishable and a very kind of like unit based perishable, if that makes sense at all. Like I can count the bread slices, so I'll know. Oh, okay, I need to buy more bread slices. In a few weeks, and the cheese is basically interminable until it ends. I had like those nice big bricks of cheese, and I just carve out a few slices in the morning. Hmm. Breakfast shouldn't have to be this complicated. Breakfast should be like one of those complication optional kind of situations, I feel. Like where it can be complicated if you want to make it complicated, but it should otherwise be one of the easiest things you can do. Like it's literally your first meal of the day. You are breaking your fast. It is not like I feel like for all intents and purposes, you're not supposed to think too hard about what you're doing in that scenario. And yet here we are. I don't know. Maybe I just need to train myself to eat less. That is something of a concern. Is that I tend to need to eat large portions in order to feel full, and that wouldn't be a problem if I wasn't the one who has to make all these dang portions. It sure would be convenient to be satisfied with less food. Sadly, that's just not the warrior's way. Okay. Come to think of it, back when I was traveling with my family for a little while, back in the end of May, I actually had a really good sandwich. Or rather, it was a really good. Wait, no, it was a sandwich. It was like this ciabatta roll, right? With two egg patties and and a couple of sausage patties. Very basic, very bare bones, but God, it was good. Yeah, egg patty being like not like a meat, like an actual meat substitute, but just like a rounded cooked egg. I wonder if those freeze any good. I don't know. I don't like freezing food generally. If I can avoid it at all, I like to just eat it while it's still relatively recent and, fridge safe. I don't know. It just feels weird to have to defrost stuff. I feel like I can't access it. Like it makes it more of a production to get at it. To just thaw it and defrost it and all that. I don't know. Those people who like prep all their meals for the month in one night and then they just have like a freezer full of food are respectable people, but I don't think I can live like that. Hmm. I don't know. Sometimes fear of change is because you're worried that it won't end well. Sometimes fear of change is because you're worried that it's going to go so well that you'll completely abandon your old lifestyle. Well, no matter what you do, change is always a little bit scary. It doesn't matter if it's even for the best. Like even if it's a good sort of change, right? It can still be a little bit scary. There was that one line for the time I read the Tao Te Ching while getting my ass beat at Strive, where it was like, everybody fears promotion. It is fearsome to gain it. It is fearsome to lose it. And they were real as fuck for saying that. I don't know. Perhaps I need to develop some manner of egomania, so I'm less afraid of this sort of thing. Instead of being like, "Oh my god, I'm being promoted," it's like, "Fucking finally! I should have been promoted years ago. Where's my higher paycheck?" No, I feel like that'll be some kind of weird coping mechanism. Probably not what I need. The arms seem a little bit short, don't they? Hang on. If I, like... Okay, so if I grab this, right, and then I stretch it out here... I mean, that almost reaches. Hang on. I think if I just grab this non-forearm bit, just a bit before the sleeve, bring it up a little, and just extend this part. How about I can redirect this? I should take another sip of water real quick. Also, I just realized I'm in like the worst posture I could be. Let me roll my arms around a little bit. Also, I got the feeling we're going to be working on this one a little bit until kind of late. Well, who knows? The rest of this might be an easy pass. Maybe I should make the boob window a little bit smaller. I feel like on the character sheet it definitely looks a little less. Yeah, it's definitely a lot smaller. Boob windows are a tricky thing. They resemble promotions in a lot of ways. They are frightening to receive and they are frightening to be taken away. All right, let's change the subject quickly. Oh yeah, the new for the new Guilty Gear Strive anime, it said that the girl's name, the kind of mystery girl's name, was Unica, right? With a K rather than the Q A and Q U. I wonder what kind of music reference that is, if it is one at all. You know, I think like a lot of the stuff is like musical references, but not everything, right? The only thing that I can think of when I hear the word Unica is the Mateba 6 Unica, which is a type of revolver. It's very interesting looking, actually. Hang on. Yeah, the Mateba Unica 6. Weirdly enough, an automatic revolver. Yeah, check this out. It's really weird looking because the barrel is all the way down here. Read the manual before use. Funniest fucking thing you could put on a gun, I think. You're right, King. I think you really should read that manual. I think the gun's right. God. Were there so many? Were there like any fun facts about this gun? Let me check the Wikipedia page real quick. Okay, it was developed by Mateba, based in Pavia, Italy. The inventor was also famous for later designing the Chiapa Rhino, is listed as the owner of U.S. patent 4712-466, which details the operation of the weapon. Oh yeah, this thing. God, this thing looks so stupid. Let's see. Recoil from firing to rotate the cylinder. Variants. Multiple cartridge capability. Doesn't look like it has any interesting stories behind it. What a pity. I don't know. Usually, when you go on like a Wikipedia page for any kind of weapon, right? It'll either be like, yeah, this was made by this other arms manufacturer who is noted for like their very ordinary, dependable weapons. It was made in a lab to kill people. Yada yada yada. Not very interesting. But other times it'll be like the person who invented this went mad shortly after designing the gun, and was able to and later developed another weapon that was basically a grenade tied to a stick that you would lob at people like a baseball bat or like some kind of deranged javelin. Those are my favorite because at least then you learn a little bit something more about the development process of it. For what are very obvious reasons, weapons development is very hush hush, but like I feel like if there's some hot goss in there, you should be allowed to declassify that after some time. Right? Like I feel like past the 30-year mark, if anything funny happened during the development of a weapon, you should be allowed to post about it. As much as I think Twitter has had a net negative impact on society, I do somewhat regret that some inventors weren't around to like live tweet the development of their creations. You know, you think the Kendrick Drake beef was stupefying. I personally would have died to see the kind of insane online activity that would have occurred from the Tesla Edison beef. You just know that the Edison dick writers were the worst kind of insufferable people. Okay. Then you put your right leg in. You put the right thigh out. You add the little stocking, and then you add the strings around here. At some point, I should actually look up the lyrics to the Hokey Pokey. I feel like I reference it enough that it would be like a benefit for me to actually like learn what the Hokey Pokey's all about. Okay, there we go. Let's move the wrists here upwards just a little bit. Or wait, is that going to give them like orangutan arms? I don't know. I feel like right now they're at a decent length. The arms, I mean. I'm not sure what else I could have been referring to in that moment. That would kind of precipitate the need to clarify. But I felt the need to do that anyway. You can use precipitate that way, right? As in, like, to portend something? Or am I thinking of anticipate? Whatever. As an immigrant, being that this is the 4th of July, I get to say fuck you to the English language as much as I want today. It's sort of like my tax for the Americans getting to do their thing. This is the one day you can make fun of the English language. No penalties involved. I mean, if you're sufficiently brave, you can make fun of the English language any day of the week. But you know, it's kind of like the purge, right? This is the one day where they legally can't do anything about it. Okay, that's gonna go like this. I'm gonna look up precipitate real quick just to make sure that I am allowed to use it that way. To cause to happen, especially suddenly or prematurely. The cause. Oh! To cause to fall down from a height, hurled downward. So that's why it's called precipitation. Because it's of falling down. Interesting. Come to think of it, calling rain the fallening or something like that, or calling rain the big fall, gives it a much more ominous name than just calling it the rain. Where the heck does rain even come from, actually? Let's see. Wiktionary, rain. English, etymology 1. From Middle English, rain, Rhine. From Old English, ren. From Proto-Germanic, reng. Okay. Of uncertain origin. Possibly from pre-Germanic something or other, which means to flow. Compare Latin rigo, wet or soak, Lithuanian roki, drizzling or rain, and Albanian recht, to flow or drip, although the consonant reflexes don't match. Okay. I should save my work. Okay, then we can put the hard stuff on here as well. Okay, then over here. But yeah, so precipitate can in fact also mean to like cause happen. Or to be an omen of. Wait, maybe if I go like... Nah, I better not mess with this part too much. Although maybe I can... Oh, and then I turn... Are these also hearts? Oh, that is some big brain stuff. Okay. Wait, no, we need to keep the whole thing kind of around here. So maybe if we go like this... Maybe we can downplay the chest a little bit. Yeah, because you can see it actually goes over the chest here. Okay, then put this upward over here. All right. With that, we should have Moka pretty much done. So after that, the main issue would be the matter of the biblically accurate coffee machine, I suppose. Quick flip check. Okay, this arm needs to be a little bit further out. There we go. Anything else jumping out? Skirt could probably be... Hang on. You'd practically see the whole leg from this angle, so I feel like it probably wouldn't be that realistic. I mean, I don't know, maybe that was the intent. There we go. Now then. Okay. Connect vector line. I could make this work. Come on. There we go. Is the head still too big? There's something about it that doesn't seem quite right. Maybe the hair here is tilted at an odd angle. Hang on. There we go. Okay, so maybe if I twist and shout. Come on, come on, come on, come on, baby. There, we've worked it out. Okay. Yeah, something about this doesn't seem quite right either. How do we approach this? This should work. Okay, then what else is there left to do? Besides making the biblically accurate coffee machine. This hand needs to be way bigger. Yeah, like even that much is already an improvement. Something about the eyes. Could I get away with just like copying and pasting this other eye and then just adding it to the, making it a little bit smaller and then adding it to this one? Maybe a lot smaller. That's worse. That's not what. Okay, that's not better. That's better. Yeah, okay, I feel like that's the right answer. Anything else we're missing? The issue with this is that it kind of clips with the little apron wings here. So we'll have to do something like this. The hair would go over the apron, actually. Okay. Now then, is there anything else that's bugging me? I mean, we could just connect these lines. I feel like that's already... Could use a little bit more meat there, actually. There we go. Well, I mean, while we're at it... All right. Just a quick little bit of work on the palms, just on just a quick wrist stretch to make sure we're nice and limber. And then this thing. All right. The good news is that after we make this, we can pretty much resize this however we want. The bad news is at first we must make it. So here's what let's do. Symmetry ruler, 2 lines. Place this in the middle of the canvas. And so it begins. And I think a nice touch would be to make the pupil on the eye heart-shaped, kind of like how theirs is. I feel like I should also have one of those vertical rulers, or one of those like parallel line rulers to help me make sure that I'm making my lines straight. But that's for suckers. We're raw dogging this thing. Okay. Okay. There we go. Actually, maybe you should be able to see a little bit of like the star out here. Or like the point out here. You know, whatever these little sparkle thingies I'm making are called. Okay. Then moving on. We've got another one of these eyes. Could I not perhaps just copy and paste the one that's here? Okay. Looking fine so far. We should have taken out the top line here just to make it a little bit more even. Okay. Spike this up. What else do we need here? The rest of the eyelashes. Why is this one looking upwards, actually? That's a little weird. Well, it's fixed now, so no need to worry about it. Okay. Right on. We've almost got the nozzles ready here. Now, the tough part about this next part is that it's going to be right down the middle, so it's going to be those are kind of difficult for me. Okay, no, or I could get it on the first try. That works also. Sure, sure, I'll take it. Why not? Okay, then over here. All right. Oh, the sparkles in the middle part are looking a little bit wonky. Let's fix these up a little bit. Okay, then next up after that. I feel like it needs another nozzle on this side, or like some kind of bolt for it. Okay. Then after that, time to make this wing. Thankfully, even though we're winging it, it's not really so much improvisation. I think when I was young, I really liked making characters with wings, so I actually learned a little bit about making super simple wings back then. Oh, granted, I don't think. Wait, wait, no, did that work? No, hang on. I think I need to move these up as well. The problem with. Hang on. Okay, so they'd be around here, I want to say. The problem with. The one problem, actually, with the symmetry ruler is that it doesn't take into account movements with the operation tool. And I feel like I say this every time I use it because it ends up happening every time I use it. But yeah, that's one of its only weaknesses. Killer Queen has exactly one weakness, but boy, what a weakness it is. God, I imagine that the espresso that must have been dispensed from these bad boys must have tasted kind of mid, but it must have been cool as hell to see in motion, right? Like, I feel like the espresso from these probably was not very good, but seeing the contraption at work must have been friggin' awesome. Like, you have this huge machine and it's explicitly for making 50 liters of coffee. It does not get better than that. It simply does not. I don't know. I feel like a lot of the reason why most coffee machines have the same kind of look and shape nowadays is because of the standardization of how cafes are operated, right? Like you have one big espresso machine that you can pull shots from, and you can use it to steam milk as well. This one didn't have like a milk steamer. You just got the coffee and that was it. And, not everybody likes black coffee, but that's fine. You could just like mix creamer into it. Or if not, you could also have like a separate machine for milk foaming. But at the same time, I feel like that wouldn't be very economic in terms of like space considerations. So maybe that's why this kind of machine became obsolete. Consumer standards have risen too much. But I guess it's also a good thing. I'm gonna shake loose my wrists a little bit once again. I need to start getting less ambitious with some of these art fight projects because I feel like I'm going to be here for at least another hour or so. That's fine. I'm willing to put in the work, but at the same time, I need to realize that if I'm going to try and one and done these each stream, I cannot be having the kind of ambitions I'm currently having. It's a little bit of a trade off. When it's like this, I'm very satisfied with the work I end up producing, but at the same time, it's not very economic in terms of my own time. Conversely, if the way that I used to do it is I just had a pose from one of my libraries that I would just like plonk on the canvas and I would just start playing with the camera and then I would just trace over the pose. And that worked pretty well, but at the same time, it felt kind of stale. Well, art is work. It's fine for it to take a long time. Well, not always, but, you know, it's more like you should expect it to not be instant, no matter how frustrating that might be. Okay, then over here. Okay. That's looking pretty sick, actually. Patting myself on the back there a little bit. That's looking pretty sick. Okay, and then all right. That's actually looking pretty good. Hmm. Kind of feeling a little conflicted here about what the right thing to do is. But you know what? Either way. Oh, no, that wouldn't work. All right, I'm turning off the symmetry layer. Or rather, the symmetry ruler. Okay, connect vector lines. That might be a little bit too connected, don't you think, buddy? That's better. Rather, I don't think you could really call that connection anymore. Adjust line width, scale down. Make this one a lot thinner. Meanwhile, we'll put a nice little kind of water cooler-esque cap on this one. Okay, what else is missing? A little bit on the wings here. Could use some additional fluff on the outer wing. But besides that, I think we should be good on the coffee machine. Alright, so here's what let's do. Very quickly, we're just going to fill in the flats for Moka. Alright, speedrun category. Oh yeah, speaking of which, SGDQ should be happening right about now, right? Wonder how those guys are doing. I hear they brought the dog out again. They've got the dog running one of the speed runs. It's crazy that the dog is a gamer. It's really interesting watching those kinds of streams because it's less interesting of the question of can the dog get a good time. The question is, can the dog do it in the first place? I feel like because of the spectacle of that, it's quite rewarding to see, even if the dog doesn't get a particularly good time. Okay. Okay, fill tool. Oh, the underside of the hair is the same color as the apron. I hadn't noticed that before. Or like, I guess that wouldn't be the apron. It'd be the shirt. But I hadn't noticed that before. That's pretty cool. I've always wondered how you'd get a hairstyle like this in real life. It seems like it'd be difficult to dye it, but maybe it wouldn't be that difficult after all. Well, to begin with, I don't have any hair. Maybe in my human form I could hawk it, but sounds like a pain. Since I can't show the shoes, I'm going to use the coffee pot to provide the remaining colors in the palette. Okay. This color. This color. There we go. Okay, what else is there? What else is there? Okay, this one, the envelope seems to use a slightly darker pink tone. Or I guess that's just straight up red. Huh. Alright, I gotta turn off my nightlight. There we go. I'm gonna make the choker kind of the same color as the collar on the shirt and everything. Oh, it's a little hole in the choker. It's not like, okay. Okay, I'm gonna make the eyelash color like way darker. Okay. Looking good. Thank you. Yeah, no, we've made good progress. Then the ribbons on the apron. Still cracking up at the censored Ryamu Yumemi. They said that thing isn't allowed here. For legal reasons, it's a completely distinct idol to the the redacted beast. Redacted Beast is going to be the name of the album that like a bunch of D-class SCP employees drop while they were like busy waiting to be like fed to one of the ravenous creatures at the facility. God, you know some insane death grips type beat is being cooked in the SCP facilities that is just completely inaccessible because all the D-class employees are getting fed to like the trash compactor that makes you younger or something. Sucks. Although I guess it would be even more unethical to make money off of the tracks to begin with, huh? Like, there's just this one SoundCloud account that's just mysteriously good at like really harsh, kind of ambient, but kind of fantastical music, and you're like, oh man, this guy's super good. I wonder what he does in his day job. But then you like start reading into more into the discography, and you find out that there's some people who have been like piecing out hidden messages about like them being trapped in a facility for dangerous objects, and you're like, hey, what the fuck? From what I understand, this is how Swifties think that Taylor Swift albums operate, and they might. I don't know. I'm not familiar with the Taylor Swift lore, but from what I gather, it's actually quite deep. That being said, no matter how good her lore may be, we should still make fun of her for flying her private jet so many places. Actually, what might be a good idea might be to have the shadows coming in from behind, like this. She has two. Two what? Jets? Or private jets? Now there's some lore for you. You know, the thing about me, right, is she will legit go to one location with a private jet to board another private jet. That's a little complicated. I wonder if that's because like there's like restrictions on what kind of jets can be flown in certain areas. And it's just easier to have a second one. That's still ridiculous, but whatever. Here's some Pabst lore for you instead. I used to think that Katy Perry and Taylor Swift were the same person. I didn't know that there was like a difference between the two. I don't know. Is Katy Perry still relevant? I feel like the last time I saw her, she was like doing some random stuff, but like I don't think I've heard of her since like for like years. I don't know. Was Katy Perry like a decent person, or did she have like some kind of fucked up evil side to her as well? I was thinking the same thing a while ago. Oh my god, did it happen to you too? That's awesome. God, because like I remember I was still in high school when there was like that one bit where like you want to talk to the old Taylor, she can't come through the phone right now. Why? Because she's dead. And I remember thinking that was kind of like a little bit melodramatic. I'm like, man, wasn't this the same lady that had like those swirly lollipop things on as part of her dress? Is this the same person? Like, is she doing all right? Did she crack? But no, it was in fact a different person. Actually, I still haven't colored the one on the boob there. We can use this one. There you go. Maybe it's just a funny looking mole or something. Apparently, Katie is trying to reboot American Idol. Well, Godspeed. You know, that's like a decent humane thing, actually. You know, insofar as like evil activities for less culturally relevant people to perform, I feel like trying to revive American Idol isn't actually that bad. Like, that's kind of morally neutral. Also, I think wasn't American Idol still a thing? I thought the kind of like Latin American lady from Modern Family was kind of in the running for that now. Like, she was one of the showrunners for that now. I remember seeing like recent episodes of American Idol. And I remember seeing her there. Well, still, good for her. Apparently, she's just been taking care of her daughter and calling for a ceasefire in Gaza. Base, I guess. That's pretty decent. You know what? Good for her indeed. Good for her indeed. I could get behind that. That's that bumps her up a few notches in my book. Okay, delete this. Okay, then this shadow's gonna drop in like this. Considering what most celebrities get up to once they start losing fame, she's downright graceful. Yeah, you're right. Well, better not jinx it. She's doing good, and that's all we need to know for now. Okay, then over here. I was full expecting some Hulk Hogan level behind the scenes bullshittery, but no, she's just been decent. Yeah, I think like Hulk Hogan is definitely like the one. It's like the extreme of like, oh my god, what has this person been doing behind the scenes? Like there's like a range between like now lives happily with her daughter and is campaigning for good causes and is some kind of hyper racist. Like that's like the main spectrum of behind the scenes celebrity bullshit. That's probably not even the worst of what Hulk Hogan got up to. My god. Well, whatever. Yeah. Recently, I was playing Hi-Fi Rush, and during the game, they make a reference to apparently an infamous incident in one of the halftime shows in the NFL. Grand Wizard or decent human? Good God. Yeah, anyway, Hi-Fi Rush actually makes a reference. And I didn't know about this because I never watched the NFL halftime shows. Uh, they have apparently during one of the NFL halftime shows, Katy Perry had had two sharks kind of flanking her as part of the performance, and very infamously, the shark onto the left of her was actually kind of like way out of tune. Like the left shark did not know what they were doing. And during the game, you actually have to crash a very important show, like a rock show, and you show up as the left shark. I don't know. Sometimes you can make a reference like that pretty gracefully because I didn't know about the left shark incident, but the game's weirdness was good enough. Like it was good enough at suspending my disbelief that I was fully ready to accept that. Oh, okay, no, they just had a left shark. Is shark like a slang for something, or is it an actual shark? It was like an actual shark, the animal costume. Like it was like an actual like it was a like those inflatable T Rex costumes. It was a little bit like that, but like a shark. No, no innuendo or trickery here. It was just straight up a shark. What the fuck was an actual shark? My first thought. Yeah, no, they didn't have like animals there. It was like people in like in a costume. Perhaps I should have specified a little bit more while I was explaining the kind of composition, the tableau of that show. That's where that fuck ass shark comes from. Yeah. Wait, what do you mean that fuck ass shark? Is the left shark like a thing in other things, or I thought it was just like a Hi-Fi Rush thing? Like that's the only reference that I had thought of originally. But yeah, no. Apparently, the shark on the left was so bad at the choreography that they like christened it. I remember seeing that thing all over the place in early 2010. Yeah, that kind of lines up with like the popularity and when it would have happened. Yeah. They have a Gmod skin. No, come on, that's cruel. God, that is kind of funny though. I've sent an image to you on Discord. I will check it momentarily. Damn. Yo, this shit is Euclidean. Let's go. That's crazy work. Yeah, I have no words for this. I feel like I should be saluting. Okay, then move this over here. Imagine fucking up so bad that people make a Gmod skin in your honor. The thing is, at least it's in my honor, right? Like I feel like if I fuck up badly enough that people like actually feel motivated enough to preserve it in that way, that's like a comfort to me at least, right? I feel like in particular because the person in the shark costume is anonymous. Like I feel like if we had known their face, it would have been way worse. But like because we don't know who it is, it's almost kind of peaceful. It's like, oh yeah, this person goofed, but like at the same time, it's like it doesn't feel like it's attacking anybody in particular. It's nice. The person in the suit must wake up wiping the sweat off their brows every day. Yeah, they their equivalent of like that. That shit would make me religious to be thankful to a god. Jeez, God. Yeah, I know. I just imagine like you know how some people say that they have this nightmare about like waking up and they're still in school, and but like for some reason they're like in the auditorium and like in their boxers or some shit, and like that's their terror, like the anxiety manifesting itself. I feel like that person would be like that person's version of it would be like them at like the costume design meeting and being like, hey, you know what would be kind of cool if we had like a face hole for the shark, and they would be like catapulting away. No, it's just a dream. It's just a dream. And you know they wake up, they move on from their lives, they get a stable job in accounting or some shit, they start a career, they start a family, and then like when and then to their horror, like their daughter is obsessed with like the Blahosh plushies. And they're like, oh my god. All right, honey, I know you really like those shark toys, but this is bringing up some awful memories for me, okay? That would be quite a difficult life, if I'm being honest. I don't know. I feel like at that point, you kind of live with your life, you know, kind of always looking over your shoulder to some extent. The suit is found in the closet in like Miles Morales waking up to the Spider-Man suit in the Spider-Verse movies. God. Oh, walking up to the Spider-Man suit in the movies. God. And like the daughter avenges their father by perfectly performing the routine on like a high school recreation of the event, and it's like closure for both of them. Whoa. Look, blue hair kind of looks good on them. Okay, then over here. Kind of reminds me of that Pokemon, of that one Pokemon that has like the ribbons and stuff in its hair. That one evolution. Blue hair and pronouns. At last. Sylveon? Is that the one? I see. You know, I really like the two evolutions that I really like are Umbreon and Espeon, because I remember playing a lot of Pokemon Colosseum as a kid and being like, "Whoa, these two are so cool looking." Same, brother. Yeah, my man. Ooh, actually, hang on. Okay, then maybe we can start removing. I love how in Coliseum DX you could find old references to the first one. Oh, I never played Coliseum DX. Actually, come to think of it, I never finished Coliseum in the first place. Maybe I could fix that someday. I think I still have my old Wii kicking around somewhere here. I wonder how I would run a capture card for that sort of thing. Yeah, no, the damage and events still scar the land and everything. Oof. God, I remember being a kid. Like the thing is, I did see like the ending of Pokemon Coliseum because my brother beat it and he let me watch the ending with him. Like the explosion in the beginning where he gets the robot arm. Oh, neat. God, that's actually kind of funny. You walk to a place that's been blown up to shit, and you're like, whoa, what happened here? Some asshole kid like 20 years ago took our robot arm and ran off with it. What a dick! And somewhere in the distance, the protagonist from the first game just kind of sneezes. The funniest part of the snag ball arm is that it's not even a robotic arm. It's like just some exoskeleton type thing. Like you just put it on top of your arm. It's like a dual disc that lets you steal animals. God, funny ass games. You play as a Pokemon equivalent of child protection services. That's true. And then it's like your combination Pokemon child protection services and also like Pokemon anger management services. Because like the whole thing is like the Pokemon that you steal have like some kind of like weird corrupting influence that makes them liable to attack their trainers and such. And like the whole point is that over time you just get rid of that. That's what I remember about the plot, at least. But yeah, God. Shout out to the Pokemon in that game. If somebody tried to solve my anger management problems by stuffing me by sequestering me from my place of residence and forcing me to fight people who are way stronger than I am and we're all level 50 for some reason, I would not take it nearly as well as those Pokemon. If I'm being fully real. Or maybe I would. I don't know. I don't know what could fix me at this point. I like to think that an afternoon watching like a busy construction site that has like a lot of, my go-to this could fix me ideal is like an afternoon with some cold drinks and a sunny day watching an active construction site with like a lot of heavy machinery kind of work around the clock a little bit. I feel like that would be a lot of fun for me. Maybe with some binoculars too. I don't know. I feel like watching a mega structure get built would introduce some structure to my life. You have been very mean to your Hitmonlee. He is mine now. God. Have you ever seen that one video of like some dude being like, "Hey, did you steal my buddy Grimblow's coins here?" And like the Grimblow in question is like this little goblin looking thing, and he's like, "No, oh yeah, well I bet you wouldn't mind if I check your pockets." And then he turns you upside down. The guy that's talking to you turns you upside down and shakes you, and the gold falls out of your pocket and is like, well, 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 would you look at that? You lied to me. But what's worse, you lied to Grimblow. And nobody lies to Grimblow. And then he like sent you into the game over screen or some shit. It was actually kind of terrifying, at least to me. But like, that video is so fucking good. I'm glad you know which one I'm talking about. God, I kind of hope Moka doesn't watch this VOD. They will be so confused about all the shit I'm yapping about. That's like the two-sided coin. All that guy's videos are gold mines. I haven't actually seen his other videos. You should. They are so good. I'll have to look them up at some point. I'll send you some of my favorites on Discord for you to watch later. Appreciated. Okay, then this is gonna go like this. I kind of want to make the shaded pink hair more intense as well. Nope. All right, hang on. Let's try this. Okay, and then over here. Not taken seriously, but they are there. As if some of them are slightly pseudo horror. Oh, yeah, that makes sense actually. I mean, like I said, I found the one with the Grimblow coins scary. So, but then again, I am kind of a notorious pussy. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just like skill issue my way through it. The notorious PUC. That's gonna be that was a translated dub name for that one JoJo Part 5 stand. God. Okay. I think the last thing left is the apron. For shading, I mean. And that shouldn't be too difficult. Hmm. Then over here, because I feel like the shadow would fall that way. There we go. Oh, come to think of it, now that Stone Ocean's been animated, and hopefully we'll have a better schedule for some of these, for some of the future adaptations. That means next up is Steel Ball Run, and I cannot wait to see some of the dub name changes they make for that shit. Oh shoot, this is the wrong layer. Oh, that's fine. We can pivot. It's not too late. This is going to be having Part 7 animated is going to be very good for me in particular because I feel like Part 7 is going to be one of those that's going to be really cool to see animated. Granted, I know nothing about what happens in Part 7 other than apparently the corpse of Christ is involved, but it sounds pretty cool. You know, it's got horses. That means it can't be too bad. And I hear a guy turns into a dinosaur even. That's pretty cool. I know it has some of the most situational stands in the series. Yeah, from what I've read, apparently the stands are super different in Part 7 or Part 6, I guess. Well, like only a few people have like the kind of traditional, oh, this big guy comes up behind you kind of stand. I think that's kind of cool, actually. I wish they would have taken that, run with that a little bit further into Jolion, but 100% understandable why they didn't. Now, Jojolion has some situational stand-ass stands. Come to think of it, some of the Part 5 stands were also pretty weird. Like, if you think about, like, that, you know, the guy that was with, like, that dude who looked like a pineapple. Prosciutto, I think his name was. You know, I feel like that guy had like a really weirdly situational stand. Like, what do you mean your stand can make people age unless they're cold? Like, what does that mean? What do you mean by that? A lot of the stands are either tools, accessories, or just look like superpowers if you didn't know betters. Yeah. Oh, the ribbons also need some shading. Catch the Rainbow is a funny one to me. Hang on, I gotta Google something real quick. That looks kind of cool, actually. You know, those guys kind of got that shit on. Catch the Rainbow manifests itself as a mask worn by Blackmore. A heavy brow ridge of a vaguely troubled angle hangs over its eyeshadows. It has no nose, and in the region of the mouth it bears a row of 5 long vertical slits, dotted by 5 holes. Okay. Catch the Rainbow functions as an ability for Blackmore, who personally deploys his control over Rain to fight. Guy walking around wearing a cool mask he found, and then it starts raining. Dude, no fucking way. Hey, what's this guy got an extra leg? Hold on. Let me read further. Okay. Although providing very powerful abilities in heavy rain, the stand has one major drawback. It requires natural rainstorm to occur over its user and continue during its usage. If the rain stops while active, all current effects that Catch the Rainbow is producing will disperse, and the stand will become relatively useless. Holy shit! Attempts to emulate rainfall over Catch the Rainbow are stated to not activate the stand. Loser! Okay. The most basic ability of Catch the Rainbow is to stop raindrops in their tracks and make them float in midair, becoming solid enough to support Blackmore and also deflect projectiles such as a steel ball. Blackmore is able to tread on them and reach high altitudes. He can either stop a select few raindrops to walk on, stop several of them over a large stone, or create blades out of them. Okay. Blackmore is also able to meld the rain. He can let the raindrops fall through him and create holes in his body, with the disappearing body parts materializing for the same raindrops at a distance from the body and remaining functional despite the separation. He can project his mouth at a distance and talk to someone. He can fuse entirely with the rain and becomes intangible like water, able to evade gunshots but also travel at high speed across great distances as long as there is rain. Blackmore demonstrates the ability to plug his wounds using raindrops and stem all bleeding, although it is only a temporary measure, as said raindrops would lose the power enacted upon them should the rain cease. You are a fucking joke. Not you, Left Shard. You're like a brother to me. Not you either, Mateba 6 Unica. You're, well, I don't know what your relation is to me, but it's not that close. We don't know each other like that. God, that is so fucking funny. Dude who is old. He's like the reverse fucking guy from Full Metal Alchemist who's useless during the rain. How do you fuck up that badly? No, but the thing is, like, if he moved to like Seattle or some shit, like he'd be able to use that all the time, right? Like, it's like a relative kind of useless. But like, if you're, there's just so many questions that I have. How did you think that any of this was a good idea? You're like the rain guy, brother. You're getting washed the first time, like by the weather forecast. And what happens if some dude can control the weather who also shows up? What do you do then? You're fucked. I don't know. It just seems like a very silly sort of stand power. The problem is that his targets are on horseback going across the country. So yeah, one, your targets can move relatively fast as well. So they could probably, like, if they try hard enough, they could probably move out of the rainy area. And two, you're going across the country, completely unstable weather attempts, and we know that if you try to create into like make the rain, it's just not going to work. So what, are you just like hoping you don't get found out as a fraud? Like what? God, you're so well. You know what? I should go easy on the guy. I should go easy on that guy. That requires a lot of tenacity. You know, the idea to be like, yeah, I'm that guy, while having such a situational power. I kind of have to respect the moxie. You know, I kind of have to respect that. How funny because you even find these powers out. I'm guessing it's kind of like it must be kind of like how you said, right? That he's just able to manifest this mask. I don't know. Maybe there's some manner of trickery at play here. Also, I'm gonna start working on the shading layer. This is not it. All right. Now then. Okay, Mocha's done. Then what we need next is the actual coffee machine. Actually, this could be Mocha's stand for all we know. They seem unfathomable enough to have a stand. Oh wait, hang on. I very nearly posted cringe. Oh yeah, no, I remember that. I remember the flesh pepper spray specifically because I was obsessed with the phrase "eat shit asshole fall off your horse" in high school, and that way I found out about hot pants and her abilities. Weirdly enough, the flesh pepper spray is the one that I am familiar with. Yeah, all kinds of stupid shit happens in part 7 or part 6, I guess. Like Johnny ends up being able to shoot it. Johnny? Yeah, Johnny. Johnny ends up being able to shoot his nails and can regrow them using chamomile. That's a stand power. He just grows his nails really quickly. No other body part, just the nails. I would be mad as fucking hell if my whole power. And the one it's just called Civil War. God. I feel like that insanity was going to go around unscathed. I feel like it's hard to copyright the name Civil War. What kind, what kind of personality do you even need to have to manifest that kind of stand? Probably the. No, I'm not gonna make that joke. I'm not gonna make that joke. It, anyway, maybe if you really like comic books, it'll manifest. I don't know. Wait, no, that Marvel hadn't been invented yet. Actually, do you even know if, like, the equivalent of Marvel movies exists in the Jojolion slash Steelball runtime line in the Reset universe? It'd be terrifying if that was like one of the universal constants. Oh, this is a simplified vector line tool. All right, there we go. All right, so here we're gonna do. I wonder why it looks like that. Hang on. Blurring width, maximum area. What happens if we increase the area or decrease? What if we increase the decrease? That's Johnny getting his legs fucked up? I don't get it. Huh, this one removed the alias thing. Johnny getting his legs fucked up has to happen in every universe. Is that true? Is that like a plot point in Steel Ball Run? No, I'm just joking. It would be funny though. I mean, I feel like it would be good thematically, honestly. Like the idea that like this is the one universe, right? Like you're gonna have there isn't any universe where you have the advantage of not having your legs fucked up. It would be really funny if like the universal constant wasn't Johnny getting his legs fucked up, but Johnny getting his legs fucked up, and then somehow finding the need to ride a horse to overcome that shit to kind of like game his way out of that shit. Like there's a Johnny who became a lawyer, and he's like, "My God, I should be riding a horse though. What am I doing with my life?" Johnny riding a non-housebroken horse into a courtroom. Honestly, the problem with the idea of a housebroken horse is that I think that any horse has like I feel like most horses would have contempt for the idea of being housebroken. I feel like they're an unhousebreakable animal. Like I feel like you could communicate a horse, do not shit here, but like if you have the horse there for like the length of a courtroom stay, I feel like the horse is going to conceivably shit there at some point. I don't know. That would be a decent intimidation tactic, though. I'm not too familiar with the law of the time, but I figured that it shouldn't be impossible to do so. The idea of a universal constant is interesting to me. Guy who has played Signalis' voice. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That felt kind of mean. I don't know. I do think that it is an interesting idea, right? Like the idea that no matter what happens, this one thing must come to pass. Hmm. I'd be bummed if that was the case, honestly. Like I feel like the idea of like a universal constant is really at war with also the idea of like the butterfly effect, you know? Because if you on the one hand you argue that even the smallest thing could have massive repercussions and effects on other things down the line. I feel like that's almost at war with the idea of like there is this one thing that will always happen no matter what. One of my OCs is a villain who has seen that his life will end in tragedy no matter what, so his ultimate goal is to commit suicide on a cosmic scale by ending himself and every alternate version of him. Damn. Bro should have tried to lock in. Has he tried locking in? Has he tried? Has he ever tried to lock in? Maybe he just hasn't locked in yet. I mean, I don't know. If it were me, I personally wouldn't let my life end in tragedy. But that's just me. That's just my flex. Because I feel like if your life ends in tragedy no matter what, and if it's specifically only you that happens to, I feel like you're kind of the problem in this equation. As sorry as I am to say that. Like you, if you have literally infinite tries, and like of course, if you're cursed, it will end in one specific way. But like, if you have like infinite tries to get it right, and you still fuck it up all the time, I feel like maybe you're just not locking in. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is kind of a classic white background with a big square in the middle. Hang on. Decrease size by 15. Perhaps victim blaming, that's crazy. I'm not victim blaming, I'm saying that, like. Joking, joking. All right, all right, all right. Good reflexes there. We have fun here at Pabs Inc. That's right. In fact, if you don't have fun, if you don't have the required amount of fun per shift, you are actually going to get flogged. Just a quick heads up. The floggings will continue until morale improves. I'm just going to copy and paste this I and make it bigger. Yeah, the floggings will continue until morale improves. Actually, why not take it a step further, even? What, you want us to put on the delimiter until the morale improves? God. Oh, that's not what we were talking about. Yeah, no. I'm talking about the eye distribution here. The delimiter is a dear friend of our establishment. That's not going anywhere. Although I do question if we spend our budget wisely getting the delimiter. Yeah, I actually, if we're allowed to, if this is a safe space and I'm allowed to speak candidly, actually wanted a delimiter for the office. I wanted to like get something that would improve our potentials, but unfortunately, we got the delimiter instead, and well, we don't actually have the budget to like send it back, and it's like worth half of the original face value once it's been used. So like, you just kind of have one of those now. We're kind of stuck with it. And I really wish that wasn't the case. Like this, it's very expensive to operate. It's very expensive to maintain. It's just not at all. It feels like a very unwise investment, and I'm not about that life. Maybe you should just use staples for paper and not for eyelids. Just my thought. Huh. You know what? I've never tried that before. I've always kept using them for the eyelids, but like I don't know. Maybe you're onto something there. I might need to do some research on this. Not using them on eyelids. Huh. Feels weird to think about, but it feels like that's right. I don't know. Maybe I'm just talking crazy or something. We're spending too much money on staples to reload. Okay, I'm not saying that one, but like, yeah. All right, I feel like this bit has run its course. Let's switch track to something else. No, I don't like the idea of like torturing my chat. Honestly, I oh wait, didn't I end up like Gaussian blurring it? I miss torturing my chat. Eh. Well, you know. Oh God, what? What? That is not at all what I meant. What I wanted that to do. Yeah, to each their own. Oh wait, hang on. I got an idea. Maybe I can just sort of paint this whole area white and then clip that. Yeah, there we go. Looking good. Thank you. All right. Let's do something similar for this part here. So I'm thinking we've got a few gator pattern. Oh, neat. Anyway, we have that's Christmas themed. That's not. Those are also Christmas themed. Do we have any that are not Christmas themed? Hmm. That's better, but not what I'm looking for. Christmas theme. That's a tattered edge. Gonna go back to looking. I talk to you later. All right. Take it easy. Oh, here we go. All right. Do any of these have like heart shapes? These are kind of heart shaped, sort of. Oh, these actually look a little bit like the coffee machine up there. That might be useful. These are all Christmas themed, so that's a big no-no. Isn't there actually like a default frill brush? Yeah, simple frill. Oh, but that's like... Oh, lace. Here we go. This is what I wanted. Okay. Let's add a couple of things. So let's add a symmetrical ruler and place it in the middle of the canvas. And then let's use this lace. Maybe I should use the brush, the actual like pen. Oop. This feels super weird. Why is that? Hmm. Oh, wait, I could just make a different layer. Doy. Alright. Nope, that's not working. Oops. Alright. This works though. Hang on. There we go. Had to go gambling for a bit, but we got it. Yeah, no, that doesn't look very good. Let's find some other kind of lace pattern. Hmm. I had my eye drawn to this one. Let's see what this one's about. Ooh. Yeah, that works. Come on, buddy. I got all day, pal. Maybe I should start from the inside out. Yeah, okay. Somehow it doesn't feel punchy enough. Like they need to be like right up next to each other. Ooh, wait, I know what we can do. Using the liquefy tool. Okay, yeah, now we're getting somewhere. Okay, then what we can do is that right on top of the last part here, we can add a gradient. Nope. Halftone. That's... Shouldn't it be like maybe a monochromatic pattern? Oh, they're not. They don't describe themselves as halftone. That's why. Honestly, this darker color with the white is kind of doing it for me. But I do think... Oh, that's kind of difficult to look at. Hang on. Let's put this at a 90 degree. There we go. Alright, let's rasterize this sucker. Not what I expected it to look like. Alright, here's what let's do instead. Forget this layer. Can I just can I please delete the layer? God. Sometimes halftoning is really easy, and other times it's like such a federal issue that it's kind of crazy. Alright, anyway, here's the idea. We're gonna use this darker color that shows up in the color palette for them, and we're gonna... Why? Oh, I see. It's because I have the white as the foreground. Okay. Once more from the top. Oh, that's odd. Why is it doing that? Oh, hang on. Did I accidentally... No? Why's it doing that? Okay, I'm scared. I'm gonna delete this layer and I'm gonna create a new one because I think some of the other layers shit is happening to it, and I'm not rocking with that. That or maybe it's something about the color itself that's making it weird. Okay, let me just lower the frequency. Okay, yeah, no, it still does that. Okay, why is it... Hang on, is that text? What is that? Dog, this is freaking me out, alright. Alright. Here's what let's do. Forget this layer. Okay, let's just try to make a normal, ordinary gradient, right? No fuss, no muss, just like ordinary, normal dot setting gradient. Okay, so far so good. Okay, and if we set this to hard and 40, and the angle is 90 degrees. Okay, so far so good. Okay, if we rasterize this, okay, it still creates some kind of... Is it this? This thing? Is that what's causing it? I don't get it. Why does it show up like this and then repeat itself? This is so freaky. Alright, well, whatever. Oh, wait, hang on. I think I might know what I need to do. Maybe I know what I need to do. We need to use foreground to background. There we go. Rasterize it that way. Son of a... Okay, why does it keep doing that? Would it do that if I put it at a higher frequency? Hmm. What is it about this zone that makes it freak out like that? Ah, screw it. I'll just use a normal gradient. Not what I wanted, but it's what I'm getting. Also, I think I forgot to add the shading for the collar here. There we go. Oh, and the choker too. Okay. Now let's try and go for that. Okay, let me use the blend brush a little bit. Just so that the gradient is a little bit easier on the eyes. Okay, that doesn't seem to be working. It still has a kind of like scanline effect, which is odd. I wonder why that happens. May I just need to make it by hand. Hang on. Making it by hand at this scale is kind of... Okay, soft eraser. Hardness minimal. Maybe we can increase the hardness and that'll make it look a little nicer too. Ooh, actually, yeah, this makes it look a little bit like a spotlight. Perfect. Then maybe with this one, we can kind of go back a little bit to the beginning and... Actually, we need to increase the hardness here. Can we borrow one of the symmetry tools real quick? Hang on. Okay. All right, and then now that we have that, this should look a lot... Doesn't look that nice, honestly. I feel like it's really missing something. Maybe if I double down on the kind of look of these. Honestly, I think that's gonna do it. I feel like if I touch it anymore, it's gonna be it like I feel like past a certain point, if you keep messing with a piece, it'll just backfire. I think we've reached that point. Time to sign this piece and move on. And it looks nice too. I hope they like it. All right. I think that's gonna do it for today. I think this is the last stream for this week. If I'm unless I'm mistaken, I'm gonna take the weekend off from streaming. Enjoy your Friday. Have a good Friday. I will see you all later. Bye.